Welcome to our video on Keycloak tutorial presented by Mohammed Niaz from IT Pro Guide. In this section, we are going to see how we can add a client. So that I'm going to provide you a client application. You can download it. It's a .NET application, so you can host it in a Windows IIS server. So if you are a Windows user, you can install it in your computer operating system. No need to install a virtual machine or server OS. You can install it, then you can configure it to work with the Keycloak. So that is what I'm going to demonstrate you. Or if you already have a virtual machine and you want to host it there, it's okay. You can try to do that. That's fine because the steps are almost the same. To have a good idea about what we are doing, I think it's good first to show you how a web app authenticates from Keycloak. So let's say you have a staff profile view application and some users want to view their profile. They click on the link that take you to Keycloak, your user to Keycloak sign in page where they complete their authentication by entering username and password. When they click sign in, and if the sign in is successful, they redirect back to the web application. If you look at the browser where you see the URL, you will see like when you click on view my profile, it redirect to the Keycloak page. Now let's download the demo application. Click on the link in the description, then you will see you can download this application as a zip file. Download it into your local folder. Once you complete the demo application download from the link provided, the next step is to set up IIS server in your Windows laptop or desktop. Click on the start button, then find out turn Windows feature on and off. Then you can see Internet Information Service. So just select it, then click OK. This will install the required files for the IIS server. Now the installation has completed. Then let's open the IIS manager. So this is the management tool that you have to add your web application. Before we do that, the provided application is ASP.NET Core 6. So you need to download the Windows hosting bundle for that, and then you need to install it. Now we have completed the IIS server setup, and also we installed Windows hosting bundle. So we are ready to host our application. When I add my web application to my IIS server, I can only access it through the IP address, but I also want to access it through the host's name, so that I prefer to add an entry to my host's file. So here 127.0, that because I'm accessing from the same server, so I give the loopback IP. Then I would like to call this IP as staffapp.local. You can give your own name, it's fine. So here are the files of my application that I have downloaded. Now I need to copy this application. Then I will go to C drive, then in pub, then www root folder. I would like to paste it here so that I can show this location as my application location when I configure the web application in IIS manager. So I'm gonna configure it now. You can right click on the sites, then you can add a new website. So here you give the site name, then physical path, and I'm gonna configure it HTTP for now because we need to create a certificate. So let's configure it as HTTP now. Then we're gonna create a SSL certificate, then we're gonna change the configuration. Because already the default web application is running on port 80, you cannot run two applications on the same port, so our application remains stopped. So I can stop the other application and start our application, but it gonna work now only on the port 80. So we need to create the certificate. Once we create the certificate, then we can assign the certificate, then it will be okay. So go and create a certificate. It is a self-signed certificate because this is a demo purpose. So I'm going to say staff.local, then okay. Then we're going to assign this certificate to our application. So let's go to our application. Then I stop the application, go to bindings and add a new binding. I'm going to add HTTPS 443. Then I'm going to select the certificate that I just created. Then click OK. Then close it. Then we can start now. Now the application will be running on both port. That's fine, but our interest will be on 443. So I have to write staff app.local. It will show you certificate error because the certificate is not a trusted certificate, but it's gonna work still. The final step, that is to create a client. Once you log into the Keycloak, you can see client, then create client. Make sure you select your realm instead of master. The client type is OpenID Connect, that is okay. Then I give a client ID, that is staff app. Then I give a name for my application, that is my staff app demo. Then enter some description. Then you can enable always display in UI. Then click. Then we have client authentication authorization. I prefer to enable client authentication and authorization. Then authentication flow, that is standard flow, and I also allow direct access. Then here I'm gonna avoid root URL. Instead I provide home URL, valid redirect URL, and post logout. So here you can see when the user logged out, he will be redirect to the home page. But the valid redirect URL, I put a star, which means it can be any page that the application decide to redirect, but the base URL should be staff app.local, and I don't care whatever it comes after that. So we are done with the create client. You can do a quick review. As you can see, everything is there. Now we have to go to the configuration page of our web application. Then we have to copy our client ID, client secret, realm name, and Keycloak URL for the application, because our web application doesn't know which Keycloak it has to contact. So if you look at the configuration page, you will see authority, client ID, client secret, and scope. So here it's already given IT Progate, so you give your realm name. Then client secret, if you go to Keycloak, then you will see in the created client there is an option to copy the client secret. So you have to copy it and paste it here. Then client ID, if you don't remember, you can go back to Keycloak and then you can copy the client ID and put it here. So let's go back to our Keycloak. Then you can see credentials. Then you can see the client secret. You copy it. Then you paste it in the application configuration page. So it's open in the Visual Code. Then you paste it here. So everything else is okay. So I just click save. Then close it. Then we can browse the stop and start first. So just a restart, I mean. Then you open the application using the staff app.local URL. Then I click on view my profile. That's gonna take me to the Keycloak authentication page, which means our configurations are working. Then I have to get authenticated here. So I enter a username and a password, which comes under this IT Progate realm. Then you can see it successfully returned me to the profile page, so that our configuration is perfect. It is working well. Here you see claims, ID token, access token, all these things we can discuss it later. So at this moment we are concluding our video. So let's summarize what we have learned. We went through client creation wizard. Then we explained it very well in the previous video, and in this video we saw how we can configure a real-time web application to authenticate it using Keycloak. So that's a good start, and we are going to deep dive into the different authentication flow options in the coming section. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.